Hey, hi, how are you? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever and wherever it is that you decided to watch this video, and welcome back to Countdown to Shadows, the series in which I talk about the mainline Assassin's Creed games all the way up to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And today, we are going to be talking about Assassin's Creed 3. This was the game that everybody in 2012 has been waiting for since Assassin's Creed 2 in 2009. This is the numbered sequel that everybody was anticipating back in the day in 2012. This is the one that we were waiting for, a new character, completely new location, and at the time it was believed to be sort of an ending to the franchise or to this story that has started in Assassin's Creed 1. I personally wasn't there during that time. I wasn't an Assassin's Creed fan, but I knew of Assassin's Creed 3. I knew the hype surrounding it. I remember watching Angry Joe's review of this game when it released. And I also remember hearing mixed things about it back then. Some people saying, oh, this is the best Assassin's Creed game ever, this is the worst Assassin's Creed ever, this is a disappointing game, etc, etc. I didn't know the full context of it back then because I didn't play it during that time. Like I said, I played it much later, and honestly, I really like this game. This is a good game, and sort of the opposite opinion I had with Revelations. With Revelations, it's great story with no changes or revolutions to the gameplay. In Assassin's Creed 3, this is great gameplay, great evolution of the franchise, and a story that how do I say this nicely? I don't like this game's story. I don't like the writing. I don't like the pacing. I don't like the way that it was handled. And I know that this game was also the victim of cut content and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like even with that, the story could have been handled a lot better. And you don't need me to explain why, because you know everybody knows that the opening hours of this game is Kingdom Hearts 2 levels of bad. The pacing is bad. You don't get to control the character in all his glory for hours. I think it's not until like sequence 3 or sequence 4 that you don't get to play as Connor fully. So that's not fun to play through on subsequent plays. And in general, I don't like Connor as a character. I like him as a concept. I like him on paper, but his execution leaves much to be desired. And I think my main issue with Connor is that in comparison to Ezio, for me, even in comparison to a game like Assassin's Creed 2, Connor doesn't go through that big of a noticeable character arc. He is very one note from beginning to end. He only has one thing on his mind. It is to kill the Templars. It is to kill Charles Lee. It's good motivation, but he doesn't go beyond that during the main campaign. And what sucks about it is that there is cut dialogue from the ending that, while not the best way to handle his character arc, still tells me, hey, Connor did go through a character arc, because he gives a speech at the end about what he learned throughout his journey, and you know, it's something that should have been showed and not told, and they didn't even bother to tell it. So that sucks. But I will say this though, Connor in the Homestead missions, which is this game's version of AC2's Villa, he's a great character during the homestead, he is such a lovable dork during those missions that I'm just wondering why wasn't this in the story. He shows another dimension to his character because they show him as this likable human being, but during the main campaign he's not shown that, and I would have loved to see that during the main game. But that's just the story. In terms of gameplay, oh my god, this game is so fun. It is basically Batman Arkham City. It is the Arkham games. It's this game's version. If it's the franchise's version of the combat present in the Arkham games. It is so fun. You feel so awesome in this game. And in comparison to something like Brotherhood and Revelations, it is not really that easy. There are enemies made to counter like how easy the combat was in Brotherhood and Revelations, and I really like that. And like they simplified the control scheme. Parkouring through cities of New York and Boston and through the forest is so fun to do, if a bit janky of times. It's janky. This game is janky, but overall it's just so fun to play through. It's so fun to control, and the biggest addition to this game, the ship combat, while basic and not as fun or in depth as it will be in the next two games, it is such a great addition to the game, and it's such a great expansion to the game that, like I said, gets expanded on in the next two games. But for what started here, this is an ambitious game, and I admire the fact that this game is ambitious. And another thing that I like is, while the balance is not the best, the gameplay of the modern day in this game is the best it's ever been. Imagine if it's so fun to just go through modern day cities in this game in small sections and just like do missions, Assassin's Creed style missions in the modern day is so fun. But again, the balance is not there in comparison to something like Brotherhood, which is still the best implementation of the modern day. But yeah, overall, I really like this game. This is such a great game. It's definitely better than Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed Revelations. Not as good as 2 or Brotherhood, but this is still a great game that over time, much like the first Assassin's Creed game, over time I grew to love this game. And if you haven't played it, do play it, because this is a great game. And this is also the conclusion of the Desmond saga, and what happens after this is going to be interesting, because the next game is the first cross-generation Assassin's Creed game with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So with all that said, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about Assassin's Creed 3? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss more of Countdown Shadows, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.